What's up, everyone? It's Brandon Sav, and before I start, I just want to say I'm appreciative of all the visionaries out there that are subscribed to the channel. If you guys aren't subscribed, it's not too late. Pause the video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and also leave a like on this video. Now, one of my visionaries actually requested me to do this video. He wanted me to recreate an artist, Eli Sostre's glass cover art. Now, usually I don't really recreate cover arts or artwork, but if it's requested, I'll definitely try to knock it out. So let's get started. Alright, so we're gonna open up a new document, and with cover arts, I don't know if you guys know this, but the dimensions should be 3000 by 3000, and I'm just gonna leave all the other settings the same. So I actually already had the cover art copied, so I'm just gonna paste it into the canvas. Unfortunately, the image was way too small, so I definitely had to stretch it out so that it fit into the 3000 by 3000 dimensions. And usually my first step to recreating any cover is to just literally observe and break it down. So the first thing I see is a beige background. So what I'm going to try to do is use the eyedrop tool and get closest to this color as possible. So once I actually found the color, what I'm going to do is create a new layer and fill it in with that color. Now, if you're new to Photoshop, you should definitely try to make it a habit to start naming your layers. That way you stay organized. So one of my biggest tips is actually to make sure you have the actual cover that you're trying to recreate at the top at all times, at the top of your layers at all times. And the reason behind this is that if the layer is at the top, you can actually fade the opacity, and you can make sure that you're not missing any components when you're recreating it. And I'll show you guys this right now. So I actually went ahead and faded mine to about 30%. And after observing this cover, I see that the easiest part is these boxes on the left side. So I'm gonna try to knock that down as quickly as possible. So the best way to actually do it is to take the rectangle marquee tool and actually highlight above all these boxes and fill it in with any color you choose. So I'm actually gonna take advantage of this opportunity and actually teach you guys a little hint. So if you hold down the option button, it should be Alt on a Windows, and you drag the rectangle or square, whichever one that you made first, it would allow you to copy or duplicate the same shape. Now, after you have the squares, it's time to go into the fonts. So me being a graphic designer for the last couple of years, I became familiar with a lot of these fonts. So looking at this font, I could already tell which font it's called. It's actually Helvetica New Bold. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually writing out exactly what this says and resizing it to the same size. So what I'm also doing is using my judgment and seeing if I have to mess with the tracking of the font. And if you guys aren't familiar with that, tracking is the space in between each letter of the font. If you guys see, you guys will probably notice it now. If you look at like different billboards or whatever, or albums, you'll see that the space in between each letter on the font can be spaced out a lot. So just pay attention now. You'll start to really notice that a lot now. And this part, this is where it sort of went downhill in a sense. Not really, but as a designer, I really like to create my own stuff. So that's why I don't really like to do recreates or sort of how-tos on how to recreate something. Only because I like to recreate my own stuff, and it just takes away from my creativity. So I just really started to just do whatever. I started writing, but then I started to change the writing. Because what fun is it if you're making exactly what this guy did? So I'm gonna teach you how to change up from now on, or for the rest of the video. I'm gonna teach you how to change up or put your own little twist to a cover. Or so if you guys saw my last video, you saw that I'm actually selling my PSD files now. So guys, don't forget, you can use the code Visionary to actually receive 20% off. This code expires September 10th, so make sure you guys head over to the link in the description and check out the store. Also too, we're almost at 200 subscribers. That's huge. So I'm gonna try to push 2 uploads whenever I can, and make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel. I also rely on you guys to ask me any questions about the tutorial or Photoshop in general. I want to know what you guys think, and I want to know what you guys want to learn. So now on to the next step. I'm actually gonna try to recreate this photo. I wasn't able to find a cutout of a Polaroid because that's all this is. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna actually reuse this, but put a little twist, insert my own photo to it. But first, you gotta add the texture. So I was able to find a texture similar to the one that he used. Whatever artist used to create this photo, I googled construction paper texture, old paper texture, and this is what I came up with. This is what I found. I really like how it's gonna come out. You're not gonna be able to, I'm gonna tell you this now, you're not gonna be able to recreate another artist's artwork 100%. That's why you sort of have to put your own little twist to it, but this is the closest I've came up with. I'm matching the texture to the background, making sure that everything looks smooth and just similar to the original photo. Now, as I mentioned before, I wasn't able to find the Polaroid texture that this artist used in this photo, so I'm actually just going to reuse it and paste the photo inside of it. So the first step of that would actually be to outline around this cutout Polaroid. Now just try to do your best. I know this photo isn't the best quality, but just take your time and make sure you get every edge. So I have the outline of it, and once you have it, cut it out and then paste it back in so that it's on its own layer. Alright, so once you have that, we're going to try to trace around to replace the image that's on the inside of the Polaroid. Now once again, take your time and try to get every edge. It's going to be a little difficult, but you take your time, it will come out better. You could probably zoom in even more than I have to actually get a better look or a better detail of the outline. I can tell I'm sort of rushing here, but the quality still is going to come out really well. Alright, so I finally have it outlined. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the brush tool to actually just fill it in with any color for now. Alright, now that you have it filled in, I decided to fill it in with orange. I'm just going to touch it up to see where I sort of messed up. It's no big deal. If you watch my first video, you'll see how to add segments with whatever you outline. Sometimes when you're filling the color in, it's better to choose a color that's totally off from what you're actually designing. That way you can see where you sort of messed up, and it's an easy fix. So after observing the rest of it, it looks completely fine. You can always go back and edit to make something better. So, but I'm satisfied with this. So in my previous request video, I actually made a Travis Scott photo and I changed the highlights and tints. So I'm actually gonna do that again, but substitute the picture they have with this picture. So with your outline still outlined, go to whatever photo you actually want to choose and copy, and then select paste into. Now I have to definitely stretch out the dimensions to make this fit, but I think I like how it's coming out. Now we're almost done. You see how I added the fonts and I replaced the photo. Now I actually want to put my own little twist to it. Instead of recreating the same thing, I'm actually going to change the name. Let's have a little fun. Change it to whatever you want. It's your style. So I changed all the writing, or at least most of it. Now I think I definitely have to make the photo black and white. So if you press Command U, you're able to manipulate the settings and the color of the photo. Now for the rest of the video, remember when we made those blue boxes? Now it's time to actually try to figure out what we can fill into those spots. Now I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. Send me photos of what you guys created. I wanna see what you guys, how your creative minds work. So I'm actually gonna leave the video here. So thank you guys for watching, and check out the next video. Be sure to check out the store. All of my PSD files are on there. So check those out. Subscribe to the channel, like this video. Peace.